Guys, so today I am so excited about this one. We have Louis Parkinson joining us today. So he will be live with us in a couple of seconds. Here he is. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, Louis is an incredible climber. Here he is. And I'll let him introduce himself for the rest. But yeah, super excited.
Ta-da! Good morning, everybody.
Yay! Hello,
Hello,
hello. How
Ellen.
are
How are
you?
you? I'm very well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm
Thank you
super
very much
excited.
for having me on. I'm looking forward to this.
I'm so excited, and I've like about 20 messages yesterday just going, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So yeah, everyone is very pumped for this. So that's awesome. And I also love the fact that your background is your bouldering
It's my
wall.
climbing wall.
Yes, this is amazing. I
Got
love
me through
it.
lockdown. I was really
I
struggling
bet.
without this. And then I finally built this thing, and now I'm happy days.
Did you build it yourself or
Myself and a
yeah,
friend, yeah. We for like a good month or so in lockdown, I was very convinced, saying, I don't know how to build a climbing wall. I do not have space for a climbing wall. I can't afford a climbing wall. And then after about a month of no climb, I was like, okay, forget all that. I need a climbing wall
I
now.
will make space.
Yeah, I will
I don't
find
care what
space.
it takes.
So I basically filled up my entire. I had a very small front garden and basically blocked myself into my house by building this climbing wall in the way of getting out. So yeah, it was me and a friend. They're not that complicated. It's a bit of wood with some legs. This one's more complicated. This one's like adjustable with a rope and stuff. But yeah, not
Yeah,
too
I
bad.
saw that in the video that you posted the other day when you smashed yourself into the wall,
Not smart.
which was amazing, by the way, because you looked at the wall like, where'd you
Is it
come
always
from?
here?
Like, were you there the whole time? Like, what happened?
But no, as you say, yeah, it's also a very, very good background for
It's great
videos and
because
things like that.
it keeps it, like, I mean, I only have curtains. I feel like I need to make more of an effort
Pretty good.
now.
It could be a studio.
It could be. It could be. No, nobody knows. So I was just introducing you when you're coming on. So you obviously competed GB, which
Yeah,
is pretty cool.
it was pretty cool. I was very happy.
Cool. It's pretty cool. And you compete. What year did you compete in the Bouldering World Cup?
Oh, ages ago, in 2015, I was at
2015.
Toronto and Vale for with the team, with the GB team.
That's so cool.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Okay, so you train a long time, and you are known for your enthusiasm, which is basically the
Yeah.
reason that everyone loves like talking to you and following you is because you're so enthusiastic.
Oh,
Um,
thank you.
well, I mean, it's a big thing. I think it's a big thing. Like that's
It
what I'm
helps a
known
lot.
for in my sphere. That's what I'm known for as well. So it's kind of like that's why I'm like, yeah, I like that guy. He's awesome. Okay, so first, about to knock my coffee over here. So excited. Okay, so firstly, why do you love competing so much? That's what I really want to ask you. What does it do for you?
Ooh, good question. Okay, so because obviously I've thought about this a lot because I've competed for a long time, and
Yes.
actually I don't always like competing. Um,
Right. Okay.
I really really like performing at my best. Yeah, I'm probably like quite a big show off. Maybe everyone doesn't have the same things for competitions, but I like being my best in front of a large group of people and me kind of proving myself. And it performing at your best when you're really under pressure feels amazing. And then if it results in like actually winning a competition rather than just, oh, I gave a good performance and nothing really happened, yeah, amazing. But then obviously there are lots and lots of times when I'm under lots of pressure, loads of people are watching, and I do not perform my best, and then I don't like competitions. They're not so fun. Um,
Yeah.
but aside from the excitement of performing really well when I'm under pressure and there's all this like exciting stuff, climbing competitions in general are really fun. Like they've set all of these amazing new climbs, usually created by like high level route setters. So they're really interesting and fun to climb. There's usually great music, a really, really cool scene with loads of other like friends of mine and other cool climbers
Yeah.
that I can meet. So climbing festivals, climbing competitions, I was going to say, are a lot more like a festival sort of
A
vibe. So they're
festival.
really,
Yeah.
really easy to enjoy. I've kind of found the more serious a competition, the less I enjoy it.
Right.
But it's still
Okay.
fun.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still the cool things of competing and like performing under pressure and all
I
this
guess
sort of
it's more
stuff.
pressure.
Yeah, a
Like,
lot more
there's more
pressure.
personal
Yeah.
pressure, isn't it? Like,
Oh,
I
definitely.
know when I've
Yeah.
competed like in a high level competition, like I psych myself out so much that it's like I can't perform at my best now because my head is so like,
Helen, we're the same. I'm a chronic overthinker. And again, like this is what I'm trying to work on because I speak to some guys on the GB team about it, and they're very clear saying whatever level the competition, however much is on the line, if I've got a title that I'm defending, or if I really want to win, or there's prize money, or whatever it might be, there's nothing in my head other than just do the climb. It's all that matters. Just ignore everything else, just do the climb. Whereas I'm always preoccupied thinking about, oh God, what if my skin's a little bit too worn away and oh, everyone's watching and I'm panicked now and maybe it's this way, but oh, I don't know. And then I think about way too much and I don't do the climb.
yeah.
So yeah, it can get tricky just to narrow your focus to the things you need
Yeah,
to.
definitely. I found like assuming you don't already know this, that I fight MMA, so mixed
I
martial arts.
assume so. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I go in the cage, well, the last time I went in the cage, I was like, okay, it's sparring. I'm just practicing, and like tunnel vision that, and that actually, well, I was more relaxed than I've ever been. I didn't win the fight, but you know,
Doesn't matter if you're giving a good performance. So at some point, it pays off.
it was it was a better mindset, I found. So like I don't know if that will help, but maybe like think, oh, I'm just at the wall, like I'm just relaxed, and
That's what I've started trying to do is just focus on and I think this is again what those members of the GB team are better at than I am is again whatever kind of competition it is still just you just climb stuff. There's nothing different. Yeah, exactly. So it's all good. Just do what you normally do.
It might help. Yeah, like I mean. Practice. It's practice. It's all practice. Yeah, I was going to say about competition. Actually, I met you at the Harrow comp. Like,
oh really?
God, maybe it was the last one or the one before. It would either have been like the end of last year or beginning of this year. I don't know.
So, which one would that be? Was it the big comp or the league?
Yes,
maybe
big comp. Big comp.
That's such a good one.
Yeah, it was the atmosphere was amazing. It was so good.
I think that's also what's nice about climbing competitions in particular is it's obviously very different for you because when you're competing, you are directly against an opponent and you need to win against them. Whereas climbing competitions, you're never. I mean, obviously, yes, you are competing against other people.
But you're not. Like everyone's friends. Everyone's like
everyone's friends and. You're not fighting to do a climb. Like you each have a turn. You each try to give your best performance. If you happen to give a best performance than other people, then great. But it doesn't actually impact other people.
No, not at all.
So that means that it usually results in me and other competitors cheering on our rivals, going, come on, even though we know if they top it, then I lose. But I still want to see them. It's really exciting.
Sure. But like, I loved the atmosphere there was incredible. And you were on the mic, right? Because
That sounds right.
I was like, who's this guy? He's awesome. Like, this is so cool. Like, we need this in like in jiu-jitsu.
I've not done MCing before. Was it okay?
Huh?
I've not done MCing before and like commentating on
it was amazing. It was amazing.
I was like,
who is this guy? I need to find out more about him. He's amazing. He's so much fun.
I'm glad it came across okay because I like started and went, okay, welcome to the competition, everybody.
Oh God, am I on the mic now?
What do I say? Okay, and then I just gave a stream of consciousness for like an hour and a half, and it worked.
It was great. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. I was like, this is awesome. But I was so new to. I've only been climbing a year, so I was so new to it then. I just went to see what happened, you know.
Yeah.
And and it was just like I was like, this is a whole new experience for me. Like, this is amazing. This is the atmosphere. Like, everything was just amazing. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. It made me want to do it more. So that's always a good thing, right? Yeah. So you are very well known in the UK. What has been your favourite place to climb in the UK, in or outdoor?
Ooh. Okay. So I spent most of my first years of climbing at the Castle Climbing Centre. Have you been there?
Yes.
That was the first place I went to, and it's a really good place to train. It's really big. They set really, really good climbs. And for years, it was like right by my house. So it took 20 minutes to walk or 10 minutes to run if you are me and you're always excited about climbing, so you run there every time.
I gotta climb.
So I was there for a good few years. Then I moved to Leeds for university and climbed more than I was in lectures. So a mix of, hello Rose, by the way, I can see you popping up in the chat. So a good mix of climbing on rock for the first time for me. So I kind of slowly got better at that over the years. and also going to competitions, climbing indoors. And then since I got back to London, I've been doing a lot of coaching at loads of different centres. But Vauxhall Climbing Centre in South London is where I spent most of my time climbing and training. It's maybe not the biggest centre, but it's just got, I think it's kind of known as the friendliest place in London. Everyone there is just delightful. It's also a good place to get strong because it's built in railway arches, so everything is very overhanging. It's a cool place, and I've just spent a lot of time there, so it has a lot of sentimental value.
It's basically not home, right?
Yeah, exactly. I spent a lot more time there than I spent at home over the last 6 years or so. But then, yeah, in London, there's a lot of good places to climb now. So I'm very lucky. I go to a few different places. Now I've got my home wall, which is also a pretty nice place to climb. I can climb in my pajamas. It's wonderful.
That's amazing. And what about outdoors? Have you got a favourite outdoor place?
Hard to choose.
There's a lot of good places.
There's a lot of good places. I actually just, on Saturday, a couple of days ago, I drove with a friend up to Leeds and we revisited the place that I went to all the time when I was at university.
That's so cool. Flashback.
It was really good. I like redid all the climbs that I did when I was younger. Found them fair amount easier now.
Of course.
But didn't realise how lucky I was when I was at university. It was about, so from my university halls, I could hop on a bus with my bouldering pad and it dropped me outside the borders. And it's like a world-class place. It's got non-stop brilliant climbs right next to each other. So yeah, Haley Roadside it's called. Really good spot.
That's awesome.
And other than that, the super famous and just very, very classic crag of Stanage Plantation in the Peak District. Again, it's just got fantastic boulders. It's a beautiful setting if you like that sort of bleak style of British landscape.
Right.
It's so I've spent a lot of time there as well. But I'm kind of happy anywhere, really. I like indoors, I like outdoors. It's all good.
Give me a rock and I'll climb it, kind of thing.
Exactly.
I feel that. Okay, so moving on to the whole world, where's the best place you've climbed in the whole world? Because I know you've travelled a little bit, haven't you? So you must have experienced some good ones.
There's a few good ones. So Rocky Mountain National Park. I spent a couple of weeks at while I was in the States for the World Cups. That's a cool place. It's a good 2 or 3 hour hike through the national park until you get to some of the boulders, and it's just beautiful scenery the whole time. Everyone's really psyched on climbing and is out there all the time, and the climbs suit me really well. So a combination of beautiful environment and climbs that I really enjoy doing, of like good edges, powerful moves. I like it there.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds awesome.
I'd also recommend Magic Wood in Switzerland. Same sort of thing.
Oh,
really,
yeah. I've read a lot of it.
It's gorgeous. And there was one place which I don't think is as well known, but I spent. Sorry. I'm gonna switch off my headphones because they've just told me battery low at the wrong moment. Hang on a second. Okay. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, lovely. So there's a place in Morocco called Oukhamadan. About an hour and a half drive from Marrakesh.
You're breaking up slightly. It might be the headphones. Hold on.
Oh, hang on. They're definitely off. I'll throw them across the room in case they're causing any more bother. There we go. They're gone now. Can you still hear me, all right? Is it all right?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. So this place called Oukhamadan near Marrakesh is fairly unknown. I think it's getting a little bit more attention now, but when I went there with some friends, the aim was to try and do it's called first ascents, when you find a boulder which no one's done before and you hope to climb it and to be the first one to do it, and then you get to name it and say what difficulty it is. So we did loads of them, and in general the area was just superb. All the climbs, normally I'm not very experienced with doing first ascents. Normally what you'd have to do is set up a rope, abseil down from the top, clean all the holds, maybe break off loose bits of rock, possibly build a landing, so like move some rocks and some tree stumps out the way to make it nice and flat. We didn't have to do any of that. All the climbs were already like blasted by the wind and completely clean. The ground was flat, so you could just get on anything and climb away and go, "Hey, first ascent for me!" So yeah,
that's amazing. That's like dream stuff. Like that's legit. That's really cool.
It really was. So yeah, quite a few favourite areas. I'm rubbish at picking them. Sorry.
That's fine.
Places I like to climb instead.
No, definitely. It's nice that can't, like, not to take anything away from font, but it's nice for someone to not pick font in their top 3, because it's like there are other places to climb. Just putting it out there, you know.
Yeah. Font should be in most people's top 3 though. Even it can rain occasionally, but there are very few places that you can be that are better than font if it's bad weather, because you've got wine, you've got cheese, you've got the castle you can go and see.
True.
Nice.
True. But it's still nice to hear about other places, you know. Getting out there a little bit more. Okay, why do you pick bouldering over trad or sport?
Ooh, so actually, someone was asking me about this the other day, and it got me realizing that there's a few reasons. So one would be that I find when you're not attached to a rope, the movement is a lot more creative and gymnastic. Bouldering, okay, it is true that whilst you're trad climbing or rope climbing, there are moves which are more creative and interesting. You might occasionally like turn upside down or something crazy, but that's a huge exception. Usually it's right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Sometimes on worse holds. It does vary, of course, but it varies a hell of a lot more in bouldering. And I really like the variety and the creativity in it. So that hugely appeals.
Yes.
And then the other reason is, I suppose 2 other reasons. I'm interested in doing. I want to learn like what my physical limits are and what the single hardest moves that I can do would be. And all of that capacity is slightly diminished when you're doing a really, really long climb. It's just a different challenge because you have to climb really hard whilst having a huge amount of fitness. Whereas I just like to do the distilled really, really, really hard bits. Which doesn't appeal to everybody. People like different challenges.
Yeah, of course.
And then final reason would be the social side of it. So although obviously when you go rope climbing, you have to go with another person because they're going to hold the rope. But it's actually weirdly quite a lot less social because you'll go there, you tie in together, and then you set off up the climb.
And you don't talk.
Yeah, then you're on your own. You're miles away, they're miles away, sometimes for half an hour or so. Then you get back down to the ground, then you switch over, and they disappear. Whereas bouldering, like you're all on the ground together, you're all working the same climb, you can laugh and joke and see what the other people are doing. It's a lot more fun. Yeah. Yeah,
no, that makes total sense. And I guess as well, you've got the less equipment for bouldering, which is always, you know,
yeah, exactly.
It's easier to get, like for beginners, it's easier to get into because you don't really need anything. You just need to rock up, maybe get some shoes, you know.
Yeah.
Preferably 10 times smaller than your actual feet. Other than that.
No, get comfy shoes.
Good. I'm glad you said that.
No, definitely. I wore tiny shoes for ages when I was a kid. It's not worth it.
It's not worth it. Okay, so do you prefer coaching or competing, and has that changed over the years?
Sorry, give me 1 second. The cat is meowing at the door. What do you want? Sorry, Helen. Cats are just the worst. She's not even there.
I feel like my favourite interviews do have cats in them. So I'm sad that you didn't bring your cat on the, you know.
I wanted to, but she's just come and bothered me and then vanished instead. So maybe in a bit.
Like, hello, I'm right here. Give me attention. Typical cat.
I think obviously I didn't coach for a long time. I just climbed and competed, so I prefer competing. I'd say long term, I think I've had more powerful, emotional, positive experiences through coaching than I have through competing. I've had some really amazing experiences competing, but the joy I feel of winning a competition compared to watching someone who I've coached for a really long time and seen how they've progressed over the years and knowing the struggles they've been through and what they've overcome, and then give this amazing performance and know how much it means to them. Yeah, I've tried watching people I care about and have coached succeed, and I've not really had the same thing with my own performances. I think I get really invested in stuff and really into
100% same. It's
I guess what I'm saying.
Yeah, coaching, and it's crazy because people sort of, like for me especially as well, like it's like people know me as a fighter, not a coach, but I'm so much, I think I'm better at coaching and I'm so much more invested in coaching, and it's like, it's so like what you just said, like watching someone that you've like coached for so long and you watch them, and so for me it's like watching them win a fight. It's like my last fighter that went out and did a fight, I cried when he won. Like, I literally cried. I was like, oh my God, my babies are all growing up.
It's a nice
You know?
feeling, right?
Like, I'm like mama hen, like, oh,
Yeah.
my baby, my little chicks. But okay, let's talk about Catalyst then, since we're talking about coaching. So Catalyst is your online program. You've got like different tiers, and look, your website's amazing, by the way.
Oh, we redid it over lockdown, and it is
Did you?
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
So someone we work with did. He's done a really good job.
I'm very impressed. It's really good. It's a really, like, it's a very well set out website, and it's a very well, like, you know, there's a lot of good information on there.
I'm glad that's not how it was before. It was a nightmare to navigate. Someone, it's my website, and someone asked me, hey, can I see a list of prices? I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. Let me just...
Like, actually, I don't know how to get there.
I had to just give up. I was like, I don't know I'm sorry, I don't know my own website. So yeah,
that's hilarious.
Loads better. But yeah, Catalyst, so partly, and especially during lockdown, we've now worked really hard on our online offerings. So we do, the particularly exciting one at the moment is the community training plan memberships. So they range from like I'm just plugging away, shameless.
Do, absolutely. That's exactly what I want you to do. Yeah, definitely.
So it goes from $14.99 a month, and you get access to this awesome video platform where we've got loads of tutorials and workouts and guest coach workshops with these amazing celebrity climbers. So you get access to all that, and then you also have me sending out a monthly training plan for all of us to do together. We all keep in touch via this forum. It's really fun. There's like already a big group of people. We chat every day. We catch up weekly through Zoom calls. So that's what we've been doing a lot more over lockdown.
That's really cool.
Before that, and what we're getting back into now is originally we a large team of coaches going to walls all over London and doing in-person coaching. So private coaching, we do loads of group membership stuff. We've got a junior team, we've got a masters team for like veteran categories of competitions.
What's veteran category in climbing?
Obviously, it changes year on year, but oh wait, maybe it doesn't. No, it does. For last year, it was if you're born before 1974, then lat training. Sorry, I've seen a question pop up. And
I know. I just saw that as well. Like lat training programs. Is he taking the piss out of your ILS? Do you know what ILS is? Invisible lat syndrome.
Oh.
When you walk around like that. Yeah.
I've got excellent posture. I've completely forgotten the question now because I've got thrown off.
Yeah, I know, right? I was like, what? Hang on, what? Something about. What's the masters category? What's masters category? Yes. Yeah.
So for the masters category, it's born before 1974. So usually people who are about 40 or older.
Okay.
And we put together this really awesome team. There's often, not always, but very often, the parents of the junior team members are also super keen climbers. And they're at this slightly weird point in their lives where they're like, I would love to climb really, really hard with other like-minded people. But most of the like-minded people I find are like 20 years younger. They don't really understand that I might get a little bit more injured, a little bit more easily. We put together this really cool team, and they train together a lot. They smash loads of competitions. It's great fun.
That's really cool. That's really cool. I think like I've never seen like a program like this in anywhere else. You know, like it's online, it's offline, it's community. It's you know, it's kind of like everything you want out of a program, which is, you know, invisible lat syndrome, aka the watermelon salesman.
That means less. That means less to me. I'm more confused now.
I mean, please explain. There is, if you go onto Robert Frank's YouTube channel, he is hilarious. He does like loads of like, I don't know, just really funny like piss-taking videos. But yeah, if you go onto Robert Frank and then go Robert Frank ILS, there's the funniest video. It's literally, it's
okay,
like,
I'll check it out. Maybe it'll make more sense after I've watched that video. I'll check it out.
So funny. And then I assume this guy has probably seen that video because I don't know where else he would have got it from. I think it's a thing without that, but I'm not sure. That was where I saw it. Anyway.
Maybe.
It's very funny. So also the other thing is I really like is it's a really good opportunity for climbing instructors because obviously you've got a big group.
Yeah.
And I think I'm assuming that climbing instructors like PTs mostly work for very little at climbing walls just so they can climb. And it's the same with, you know, gym PTs. It's like what I used to do. I did it back in the day, and it was like, oh, hey, you get to be in the gym all the time, and then you get paid 10p to take a training session that you've just paid $6,000 to qualify for.
Word for word, my explanation of why I started coaching privately at first is that I was working behind the desk of a climbing centre. It was a very small gym, so usually I was the only staff member there.
Yeah.
And I would meet the customers when they came in. I would take the booking. I would schedule everything. I would take the payment of like 300 quid. And then later I would teach the lesson myself and get paid £8 for the hour.
Yeah.
So, and then I was kind of
familiar.
Why does that all work here? So, yeah, one of the things that we do with Catalyst is that joining the team of coaches, for one, I try to pay them a fairly high hourly rate. It ranges from £15 to £30 an hour, which I think is quite a nice, fair way to do it.
It's very good for climbing.
It makes it a hard way to run a business, but it's okay. It's one of the things where.
But you've got, I think you get more. The money will come, and running a business in itself. It's like if you've got happy staff, if you've got happy people working for you,
exactly.
Yes, they're going to be more loyal. They're going to be happier working. They're not going to be like, oh, that dick, like I can't believe he took all the money, and like it's like.
But that's what's nice is we do it two ways. Of either. If someone like contacts us saying, hey, I want to coach, and we just check who's available and go, great, okay, this coach is available, we book them, we pay them the hourly rate.
Yeah.
But we also kind of operate as like a platform for them to advertise from, and almost like an agent for them. They can advertise on our website. If they sell their own private coaching sessions, they can charge whatever they like. They can use our booking system, we can advertise for them, and they keep 75% of everything.
Yeah. See, that's so good. That's so good. I mean,
it's done quite nicely so far. Yeah, it's a good plan.
I mean, that's what people should be doing in all, in PT and in all genres of exercise, in my opinion. But it would be nice. Okay, so I also really like, the other thing I really like about Catalyst is you've got like on the wall and off the wall. So it's like bringing the importance of on the wall and off the wall training. What is your number one off the wall training thing that you've done?
Ooh, okay, so
or you don't have to give me one, you can give me like three.
So I've got a few different like training plans that I work with people, and I thank you to Lewis, who's now explaining what Waterman salesman thing is. That makes a lot more sense now. I thought it might be that, but I wasn't sure. So yeah, off the wall plans, I've written a few different ones which you can buy and download online. I think my favorite one was the static and dynamic coordination workout. So it was just me picking a few of my favorite exercises that you can do at home, which are one, quite hard work and will make you fitter and stronger, but also rely on careful control of momentum, a bit of balance, holding static positions in balance whilst moving around. It's good. And then what I found is it translated really well back onto climbing. Even just practicing jumping back and forth and landing softly and aiming for small targets and things like that. Then when I got back onto the climbing wall, I worried that I would have lost loads of confidence in my ability to jump and grab holds and things like that. But no, it was all still there. So static and dynamic coordination workout was the number one for me, I think.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I really like that. So yeah, guys, everyone who's watching, if you want to maybe like get onto that yourself, then, head to the Catalyst website. Just, Great idea. Okay, next thing I want to talk about is all your work with like all your anti-racism stuff, which is incredible. Your Takeover Tuesdays, like everything. How did that come about in the first place?
Well, for one, it's very, very nice of you to give me props for doing well, but I don't feel like I'm doing much. I feel like I'm passively doing kind of the bare minimum. Initially, I think for a lot of people, the BLM movement gaining traction was a bit of a wake-up call, and around that time, I then started to read a lot more and listen to a lot more podcasts, and we're making an effort to follow a lot of people online that I just wasn't aware of before.
Wouldn't have, otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that kind of then opened my eyes to learning a bit more about it and becoming more passionate about it, and really then looking at climbing again and realizing
it's quite white orientated.
Oh my gosh, yeah, like 90% of the participation is people who look like me, white guys, white cis male. That's about it. So I've wanted to. My passion has always been everybody should try climbing. It makes you fit and strong, but mostly it makes you happy and confident and teaches you all of this cool stuff about persistence and things like that. And I think everyone should have an opportunity to do that, and to then realize that not everyone has an equal opportunity to do that. It seems pretty obvious that if I can do a little bit of work, and I think actually what's quite nice for me is those Takeover Tuesday things that I do. It's the first time that it ever feels like I've used my platform for anything useful.
But yeah, use your power for good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas before I've just been posting videos of me falling off boulders, and it's nice, people laugh. But now it's quite nice to do something like this is actually productive. And I'm still surprised that I'm surprised by my following sometimes. I think I probably lose about 500 followers every Tuesday.
Are you kidding me?
Because I'm like, I thought you all would have gone the first time I did it. Why are you still annoyed? I still gain some back, but I'll explain each time. Yeah. I don't mind. Like, in fact, no.
Well, no, you don't want those type of people following you, but like.
Well, it's difficult because on the one hand, get lost, you racist. I don't want you to follow me.
Yeah.
On the other hand, no. You are specifically the people who do need to stay here and listen to this sort of stuff. So don't unfollow. That's the wrong thing to do. I would want, if you disagree, then let's talk about it. So I've really enjoyed doing that, and just sharing the platform as a way to improve representation, and just so that aspiring athletes from different backgrounds will be able to at least see climbers who look like them. So I think, and then I'm also doing some work within Catalyst of setting up some like sponsored places on a junior academy. We're doing a lot of affirmative action in improving the diversity in our coaching team. I'm on the one hand really happy that I'm doing this stuff, but also quietly sort of going, should have been doing this the whole time. It's not like it's sort of, whoa, amazing, look at all this work. It's like, yeah, well done that you've started, but you could have been doing that the whole time. So
yeah, but I think
view it as, it's good to do, but this is what I should have been doing.
Yeah, definitely. But like the way I look at it is like, it wasn't something that was brought to your, it wasn't something that was brought to your attention. It wasn't something that was in your mind because you're white.
Well, yeah.
You don't have that. It's like you have, okay, everyone has problems, but you don't have the problem of race because you've always been white. That's never changed, you know? So you've never, you've never seen it as a problem. Now, as soon as it's brought to your attention, you've done something about it.
Well, so this is, I think, also me starting to understand a lot more what white privilege means is just basically understanding that the fact that I have a choice as to whether or not I make any changes in my business or whether or not I engage with this sort of thing online, the fact that I have any choice at all is a huge privilege. Same thing with my partner and I deciding whether or not to attend some of the Black Lives Matter protests that were going on in London. We were talking about it going, it's a bit scary because with COVID going on at the moment, it feels like quite an increased risk. I hadn't been to many protests before. I was a little bit apprehensive, a bit scared of what it might be like. And we talked about it more and realised, again, the same sort of thing. The fact that we can choose whether or not this is important enough for us to go to is a huge privilege. So we should exercise that privilege and go. So we went to a few of them. And I think it's learning how I can use how I can leverage the privilege that I have to benefit other people. The only other one I've been doing is, I feel bad, but they're very, very patient with it. Kind of just bullying my sponsors and saying, you guys really should be doing more of this. I feel really uncomfortable because on the one hand, they're occasionally rightly saying, whoa, sorry, we can't just be held to ransom by one of our athletes saying, hey, I believe really strongly in this, you ought to do something about it. No, that's not fair. But now they're blessed and doing really, really good work, and I'm really happy to have been involved in it, and really excited to be working with them in the future and stuff they're going to be doing. But that was an interesting one that I had when I spoke to a friend about this, where he was saying one of the main ways you'd be able to help is I currently have access to rooms that he wouldn't have access to, and so for example, talking to my sponsors about this, I was like, I feel weird talking about this stuff.
But can I do this?
But at the same time, clearly no one else is going to.
No.
There is no diversity in the staff or on the athlete team. Well, I thought, okay, well, I guess I'll
Why not?
do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a tricky one sometimes.
It is, and I remember you just reminded me actually. One of my friends who's black, and I drove to his house, and I had in the back of my car I had like a chalkboard, climbing chalkboard,
Yeah.
just in there in a packet, little packet.
Yeah.
And he came out, and he was like showing me where to park. He came out and he was like, "Have you got a bag of drugs in your car?" And I was like, "No, it's a chalkball for climbing. I've just been climbing, and I bought two at the same. One of them's in my climbing bag,
Yeah.
my chalk bag, and the other one's waiting for me, so it's just sitting in the packet." And he's like, "It's on your back seat." He's like, "If that was me, I'd have been pulled over by the police. Like, how long has it been there?" And I was like, "Oh, about 3 days." And he was like, "Get rid of it. Get rid of it. They'll stop you. They'll stop." And I was like, "I've never been pulled over in my life." He's like, "You don't know what it's like to be black."
Yeah.
And I was like, "You're right, I
spoke
don't."
to he's on the French Olympic team. This guy Michael Moen, and we spoke about all of this stuff, and he was saying actually in climbing centres, I think he kind of admitted it's like, well, partially because I'm an Olympic athlete now. No, I don't get much stick for being
Probably okay now.
But he also said, still now, so it's like a 4-minute drive from his house to the climbing centre. He goes there every day. He's been pulled over 6 times in the last few weeks, and every time, obviously, he's not doing anything. He's like, yeah, I'm just going to the gym, guys. Hi.
Just going to the gym.
And yeah, I don't know. Have you ever been pulled over? I've never been pulled over. It's
insane. It's
yeah,
like,
we can go into this sort of stuff all day.
but it does make you really think, like, okay, there is a problem that we are not experiencing personally, but we can also do something about it. So let's do it.
Exactly.
Which is what you're doing, which is awesome. Okay. I have 2 more questions for you.
Sure.
Firstly, who is your current favourite climber or boulderer?
Ooh. Oh, that's.
You can give me like a top 3 if you want.
Okay. Lynn Hill might be near the top. For anyone who doesn't know Lynn Hill, climber, mostly operating at her absolute best, or she still crushes in the ACs. She's American climber. She's about 5'2". I had the honour of meeting. She is known as, and it's not an exaggeration to say, one of the best ever, and will be forever, really. She was the first one to free climb the nose of El Capitan. All the best climbers in the world have been trying it, and she, a tiny little lady, absolutely smashed it. And what's really, really cool about that is obviously it's like a really famous wall. It's quite accessible. Everyone can go and try it. And to this day, about 30, 40 years later, like 3 people have managed it. And then I've seen a video of her going and trying it again recently, many, many years later, and she can still do it. She's horrendously good at climbing. She's also, I had the pleasure of meeting her at an event last year. So nice. And it just, when you like remember painful memories when you embarrass yourself and you come out in like cold sweats. I get that all the time thinking about that interaction because I was so starstruck, and it was just car crash after car crash with this conversation. she was desperately cool, and anytime I messed something up, she was even cooler to save it, and then I'd mess it up again. Yeah, I hope one day I get to meet her again and kind of rectify it a little bit and be slightly less of an idiot. But yeah, Lynn Hill might be like pretty top.
That's awesome.
I'd also, just for the sort of mindset he has, I'd say there's a British climber called Max Mill. He's currently on the GB team, and he on Instagram for ages he's been called Max the Future, but it's Max the Present now. Like he's.
Right. Okay, we're in the present now.
I've climbed with a lot of people, and every time I climb with them, I don't even understand what I'm seeing here. There's I'd like try a bit and go, oh yeah, I don't think that's physically possible, and he'll like rinse it first go, like he's warming up.
And you're like, where are your legs coming from? Like, how is that happening?
It's partly it's his talent, but it's also his confidence and his dedication. He, to be honest, he lives like a monk. All he does is eat really healthy, sleep really well, and train, and win competitions. And the level of confidence he has, like I climbed them a couple of times recently. I was showing him all of these hard climbs, which I would love to be able to do. I work at them, maybe I'll be able to get them. It's very clear from the way he talks about stuff that the idea of not finishing every single climb he comes across doesn't really ever get into his head. He has flawless, unbreakable confidence all the time, and it's really cool to see.
That's the dream. That is the dream.
That's the dream.
Wow. My last question is, it's quite random, so just roll with it. Why do you hate parsnips so much?
Parsnips are the worst. They're just like, I don't know what else to say. I've got a lot better with my picky eating over the years. I'll always have a special place of hatred reserved for parsnips. They taste rubbish. They're massively overhyped. They look like carrots, but they don't taste anything like carrots. They're bad vegetables. I can show you. I keep a list of certified bad fruits and bad vegetables. They're like,
what are the other ones on there? What are the other top hatred?
My friend made me try a passion fruit the other day, and that's
not a fan.
That's a bad fruit. I don't understand. I don't understand. I was like, oh, does it taste a lot better than it looks? It looks pretty bad. Yeah, it tastes pretty good. I was like,
nope.
0 out of 10 for texture and taste. I'm not
kind of like eating eyeballs a little bit, like little mini eyeballs.
A lot of little gritty little eyeballs. No, not good. So yeah, I'll elucidate more about what's on my list of foods not to eat anymore. Some I'll try again. Like I said, I used to be a really picky eater, and I'll try them again now. Like grapes, I finally tried again at the age of 27.
Amazing.
I never used to eat them when I was a kid, and then I tried them again. Like, well, this is obviously delicious. I don't know what was wrong with me before. So yeah, some of them are getting
cross that off the list.
Yeah, that can move to the other list now. But no, parsnips. I'll try them at Christmas each year, but I don't see them ever moving from one list to the other. I don't think it's going to happen.
I mean, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. I can, some things are just not meant for eating. Like for me, it's celery. I don't understand celery.
Can go on the bad list as well. Celery
it's just the worst. I don't understand people that eat that.
Get stuck in your teeth. No, boo to
celery. Why would you do that? Like, it's horrible. It's like the devil's food. I once told my mum, I think I was about 6 or 7, I told her that I'd rather eat a slug than eat celery, and she went and got a slug out the garden, and I was like, no, I don't want to eat either of them.
Okay, I will eat celery.
It's like, okay, fine, I'll eat the celery, but I don't want to eat either of them. Okay, that was incredible, and just thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me on.
How can people get in touch with you?
So you can either message me on Instagram or head over to the Catalyst website. It's just www.catalystclimbing.com. Pretty much. I hope we give the impression of being a super professional, very big team of staff. It's mostly just me and like one other guy. So if you email anywhere on the Catalyst website, it'll get to me at some point.
Yeah, like it'll probably come to me.
But it'll probably get to me. So yeah, email through Catalyst or message me on Instagram. And really, thank you very much for having me on your show, Helen. That was absolutely lovely.
It was amazing. So much fun. So much fun. So thank you.
I'm going to get on with a bit of climbing for today. But
yeah, go climb.
Everybody, thank you very much for having me on.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.